Alright guys, welcome to a new video. Today we're going to be working in the garage. As you guys know from probably a couple videos ago, I said I was going to renovate the garage a little bit, and today is finally the day we get working on that. So I picked up a door for it. As you can see, there's no access door except for the two garage doors in here. So we're going to be adding the door today, and then we've got to frame that in. I was going to put it directly in the back because I was going to make an overhang on the back to store four-wheelers and stuff, and that would be access from the back of it. But there's a pretty big load-bearing beam that goes all the way across the whole garage up here, and that load-bearing beam sits right there on that beam, and that beam would have to be cut to put the door in. So I don't think we're going to go that route. So instead, which would make more sense, is we're going to put the door right next to this window right here. And this is really where the door should go. It's an 80 by 32 inch door. So we don't have much room to work with. I think it's 86 to the top of here, and then like 83 to right here. So we've got like an inch of room for the door to swing in. We can't swing out because we've got the roof right here. So right here is like 78 inches, so it would not work. But we do have cement going from here to here, so it does make sense to put a door right there. We'll have to move the garbage cans in a different area. But yeah, I think that's the best spot for that, just so we can get in and out. And it snows here a lot in Wisconsin, so having easy access right there should be perfect. We're gonna have to go pretty close to the window here. I think we're gonna start with this beam right here, this 2x4, and then frame it off of that. So that'll be the king, and then we'll probably put the header right here going across, and then put another king stud right here, and then frame it out like that. I'm a little bit worried about this spot right here, but I don't know, I think it should be fine. I'm hoping. But yeah, we have to move everything out of the way, get all this stuff cleared out. All my old oil has to be moved. We're gonna move it to the back over here, so it's out of sight, out of mind. And then we'll get ripping down the shelf. This has to be moved. All the tools have to come off. And then the wiring has to be moved. The box has to be moved over to probably over here somewhere. So all that has to be done before we can start framing this thing. Alright, we got the whole wall cleared off. We're going to take off this shelf next, and then this cupboard shelf thing. And then we're going to move the wiring to over here for right now. Because we're going from this stud, it's got to be 34.5 inches or 35 inches right to here. So getting the tape measure, we have to clear so we're going to run into this shelf right here. That's gonna butt up right to the shelf. That's crazy. So we're gonna remove it. I don't really want it. Plus the door has to swing in, so that shelf needs to go. And honestly, that'll probably have to go too, which I don't like that anyway. So this stuff was built probably in the like the 60s, because my house is from the 40s, and this is all original wood from the garage. So I'm guessing these were built probably right when the garage was built. So let's get this shelf off, remove the electrical. Before we move the electrical, we're going to turn off the power to the whole garage, just so that we don't get shocked or something. But we can leave the wires for the garage door up there, that's fine. We got the one shelf off that was right here. Let's get this one off next. That's kind of cool. Blue Goose, American fruit growers. cool too. Chief Oshkosh bottle cap. Here's another one. Pears. Alright, that's almost done. So then we'll do the wiring next. Alright, we got the power off. We can see that the box is nailed from the side. It's just regular nails. So we're gonna pound it this way. Try to get those nails out of there. If we can. Without breaking the box. Screwdriver in here. That one. There, that's free. We're gonna get these clips out of here. These clips go all the way up. So we can get those all out of the way and then let it hang over here. Maybe I'll pound it into a stud over here just so that we have power. So open this guy up. See what's going on. It's a long screw. Let's see way in there. A couple screws holding on the box. Right there and one up here. So we gotta be careful because there's a wire coming out right here, and we gotta take this whole stud out, so we don't want to cut into that wire at all. We're gonna remount this whole system, I think, right to this stud for now, because the door is only gonna come to like right here, so we should have plenty of room to just mount it there for the time being. But we gotta cut with a sawzall a slit right here and right here to get this wire out, because I'm not going to rewire that. So we'll cut a slit, get that out of there, and we can remount this whole system. Alright, we got the wiring over to this side. I might take one more off of there just so we can bring it back over. But that's all out of the way except for the one down here. This one connects to the outlet outside. So we're going to see if we can remove that and move that a little bit. Really held on. Alright, both studs are out. Alright, so we're going to measure from the width to width of the door. It's 33.5. We're going to add a 1/2 inch on each side for clearance. So that'll be 34.5. And then we're going to cut the board to 34.5 at the top. So the header will be 34.5. We're also going to leave a 1/2 inch on both ends of the door. So measuring from this way, the length of the door. Let's just do that quick. So it's 81 3/4. So we're going to be doing 82 3/4. So we're going to be seeing if we have enough room for the 6 inches. So measuring from the bottom of the cement. And we don't have enough room. Alright, so we just have enough room for a 2x4. It looks like, so we'll stack 2 2x4s on the top of that. Alright, so I found a picture online for what we're going to be doing. Right now, as you can see, we have one of the studs right here. So that stud is going to be this one, going the full length right there. And that is a king stud right there. So we're going to put one right there and then one right there going the full length. There's only 2 studs going the full length. What we're going to do then is cut the length of this from stud to stud, from king stud to king stud, which is your header. Double that up with 2x4s. Then we put the jack studs underneath the header. Alright, king stud is going to go somewhere like that. It's a 7-footer matching this one over here. So now we have to find what the width of the door will be and then add on the width of the 2x4 so that we know the gap in between here. That's the next plan. Alright, did a little math. The distance we want between the king studs is 38 inches. So I marked 38 inches up here and down here, and that's the inside between the 2. So that's looking pretty good right there. Nothing wrong with that. So that one's in. We're going to finish nailing that one in and then put a couple more in just to secure it, and we'll go on to the next one. Alright, we got the header up. Just 2 2x4s, 38 inches in length, nailed together. Alright, let's see if this one fits. Alright, framing is done. We got the header, jack stud, king stud, and that goes all the way down. So let's check the measurements, make sure we're good. If we're off a little bit, like a little bit over, that's fine. Now we're going to cut the footer off down to the cement. Alright, footer's gone. Let's try to cut this hole out on the back side. We've got this, which might be tough to cut through. but we'll see. We're gonna drill a hole with the drill bit and then put the sawzall in there, cut away. Nice. Alright, looks like the door fits, so we're going to now weatherproof it with some tape. Let's see what we got here. Flashing tape. We're just going to go around the whole doorway and then just a little bit around here so it covers all those cracks. But if we come on the outside, so here is the door that's going in. Should look pretty good. But we can see we need to put this all along here to cover up those nail holes, and all the way up there and all the way around. Alright, flashing is done. I'm kind of on a time crunch. It's supposed to rain tonight, so I'm trying to get this thing done. Here's from the inside. Everything is waterproofed. We're going to put 3 beads of caulk on the bottom, place the door in, and then I rerouted the wire. We're going to go from the bottom right there, coming in, and then we'll mount the new stuff right there. But before we can do that, we have to disconnect that so then I can reroute the wire. Alright, we got the electric through that hole, all rewired. Let's get a couple beads of caulk on here. Alright, door looking pretty good. Now we just have to shim it and make sure it's perfect. Alright, we got the door shimmed in. Basically what I did was take shims until the crack right here was all the way even around. Opens smoothly, closes smoothly. Weather strip is good. Looks like I cut the door a little bit too big, so we're gonna have to fill it in with foam and then caulk it on the outside and then add more trim to it. But I guess it's better too big than too small, right? But yeah, that's how that door went on. Looks pretty good. Now obviously the trim will be painted white, and then I'll finish up the siding and all that stuff. Alright, we're going to be using great stuff for the cracks around the door. Spray that in here. So we're gonna do around the whole door, and then that should seal it up nice. Alright, we got the door handle installed. It's working pretty good. It's got the deadbolt and the lock. And coming from the back side. So that's working. Pretty sweet. Alright, we're going to now take this whole side, clear off the whole wall, and then we're going to use R13 insulation. Got it all in the back of the truck here. Staple that on. We're going to try to get this whole wall done today yet. But yeah, everything needs to come off. And then I'm going to do spray foam around the windows and all the cracks that you see everywhere up there and some of the corners over here, just so that we have a nice tight seal. Then we gotta get that container out as well, so this whole wall will be clear and we can start laying down some insulation. Alright, we foamed around all the windows, foamed up there, around the cracks, around some of the corners right here, but everything looks good around this window. So everything should be airtight now. So let's get the insulation going. So these flap over. I'm stapling them on the face of the 2x4 because it doesn't really matter with the drywall. If you have to pound them down further, you can pound the staples down further, not a big deal. On the inside it just takes longer, so we're doing it on the outside. And then this is the vapor barrier right here. So a lot of people, what they do is they do a double vapor barrier, which you're not supposed to do. So they do this plus a plastic. Don't do that. You'll create like a barrier between the two, and that will create mold. So just one barrier is fine. Alright, check it out. Whole garage, all the walls at least, are insulated. So that took me a while, but got her done, and I took out the bench in the back here. A lot more room now. You can see all the windows are sealed up with foam. Did some of the cracks in the flooring. There's a big hole back here. There's a big shelf right here, and then this was drywalled right here with like the really loose insulation, so that was a big mess. About 5 garbage bags full of the loose insulation. That was all gross. So I took off all that, replaced it with fresh insulation, and now we've got a nice fresh layer of insulation on the whole garage. Still haven't figured out what to do with the ceiling yet. I'm either going to drywall right down to here or insulate the rafters right there. Not really too sure what to do. We will see. But as far as the walls go, I'm going to do electrical all the way back here. You can see right now it's just these garage lights that hang down. We're going to do LEDs all along here, and then we're going to make a bench that's L-shaped, probably from the window right here to the window over here. So a nice L-shaped bench that can fold up so that I can fold it up when I'm not using it. And then all the way up until the ceiling are going to be shelving units. So above the workbench, shelves all the way up with cupboards. So that'll be pretty nice. And then cupboards along the back wall with more shelving. And then probably a space up here that I can store stuff. So right now we've got wood up here, and I'm storing a couple things up there. So we might do that along the whole thing, and then have like a little door that you can access to get up there. But I'm not really sure how much weight up there can hold. I'm guessing not too much because there's not a support in the middle. So that beam right here has a lot of weight on it. So probably don't want to store too much up there. But I also fixed the garage door. That was really crooked right here. So I put a support in there. And then I fixed some of the sealing on the door. So in winter, we shouldn't have any draft coming from there. And then the next project's going to be to seal the cracks in the cement. You can see there's a big crack going all the way down. I might put a pipe through there just so it can drain water. And then all the other cracks in the floor are going to be sealed with some stuff to seal cement. Then back here, I'm going to seal that up, caulk that, so no moisture can get through. But that's all going to be next video. Then we got to drywall the whole thing, which is going to be super fun. But it shouldn't be too bad. I'm going to put as many lights as I can in here. All LEDs, so this whole thing is lit up. But next video, we'll dig into the repairing of the garage floor, the drywalling, and then the mudding, and then trying to figure out what to do with the attic part of it. And then maybe some lighting. So stay tuned for that. Should be pretty fun. It's coming along, and it's starting to look pretty good. So stay tuned, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And until next time, we are out.